In this video, guys, we're going to talk about what extra trading projects could you be doing during this coronavirus lockdown. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. Yes, another video that you're probably seeing loads of people on YouTube talking about is what you should be doing during the lockdown. Now I'm going to focus obviously on trading aspect here, and it's not what you should be doing. I never say that to you guys, you know me by now. I just give you some ideas and thoughts, and maybe you can take a few away. Maybe you think some of them are rubbish, that's the way it goes. You take a few, they work for you, then that is good in my book. Okay, so obviously we've talked before, probably been uploaded already. If not, they're not going to be far off. We'll talk about the health and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to talk about this now. I'm going to talk about specifically about trading projects. For many of us, or many of you, should I say, because some of you actually kind of trade and you work at the same time. I know that's probably the majority of people who are watching this channel. Some of us are full-time traders. Some of you are doing this, trying to work it out while you're running a business, while you're working stuff. So this is an opportunity potentially for some extra time and stuff to really kind of work on your trading. Now, what you don't want to do, in my opinion, is fall into the trap of just trading, because the volatility is there. Yes, great volatility, but and also, of course, you're going to learn from that, but there's opportunity to grow in other aspects of your trading. This time you've got at home in front of your trading screens. Yes, appreciate there's distractions with family, etc., blah, 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 but this is an opportunity to really kind of come out of this better, which I think we all will anyway. So the first thing is going through your journals and learning. Now, this is a great time to start a journal if you haven't yet. I've talked about this so many times before. I think it's so useful, guys, and everyone I know who has done a journal, no one has said they regret doing it. And again, you don't have to go crazy with it. There's a video specifically about even just starting writing a few things. You can use video, you can use anyway, all these things, but going through them now is a good way of pruning out, categorizing, perhaps winning days, losing days, profitable weeks, and trying to find those themes that we talk about so often, so you can kind of increase those winners and reduce those losers. It's a great time to go through these old journals, maybe categorize them, maybe file them a bit, that kind of thing. The other thing is writing out your setups, rules, and printing, filing. So what I mean by this is that, if you have setups, I recognize that many traders kind of have an idea what they're going to trade, but don't really have it written down and in a kind of standard operating procedure, if you like. If you run a business, you have an SOP, you have, right, this is what we do in this situation. Almost doing that as a trader, even if you're not using it every day, means that you're just thinking about things and you're really cementing them in your mind. I mean, I've made no secret of it, guys, that when I initially did my price action program, the fact that thinking about it and going into minute detail about how I traded and the filters and the triggers and all that kind of stuff, really helped me, because most of the time I had it kind of written down and I would do it and they're working well, but actually cementing it and thinking a little bit more about the intuition part of it, just helped me as well. That is well worth doing. Think about your setups, think about the checklists, think about exactly what you want to see, exactly what you don't want to see, how you might take this trade, how you're going to manage the risk on it. Print it off. I've got a laminator as well. Sometimes I'll laminate some stuff and have it there if I'm particularly on work on something for the next 30 days. That gets laminated, that gets put on my desk. These are little things that you can do now, especially if you don't want to be trading, or if you've got a position to only look at the market, you can be there on your laptop, in your garden, whatever, just typing out this stuff, thinking about your trades, thinking about the setups, thinking about all these kind of things. And this extra time can be used very, very usefully. Number 3 is develop a strict pre-trade routine. Many of us don't have this. And guys, it's an easy trap to fall into. You come to your screens, you start trading. Now's a good time to have that routine in place. What am I going to do? Do I have something that's outside trading? Do I make sure I'm getting the blood pumping first in my brain? Am I doing 20 press ups, some sit ups, some this squats? Am I having some sort of nutritious food? That's extra, of course, just to get the blood going, get you in the right mood, or listen to some kind of music. But then, of course, with the screen, what's my process? Am I looking at the overnight futures? Am I looking at what my positions have done? Which order am I doing stuff? Thinking about the best possible course of actions for you each time you sit in front of the screen to trade, whether that's the same time every day or whether you're doing it as and when. The fourth thing, guys, is to think about when you're trading your best and build on that. Now I've done a video on this, in fact, I've done a few videos on this, and this is so important, because I can't tell you how much this moves the needle. These two things actually is, if you spend the time to think and maybe use your journals, maybe look at the market, however works for you, and you just think, right, when am I trading my absolute best? What markets or what type of environment am I at my best? Just really drilling down into this, because doing this starts to highlight the patterns where you have edge. Okay, and many traders are spinning the wheels because you're trading when you do have edge, but then you're trading when you don't have edge, and then it's just you're having this negative thing. And for a lot of traders, and I get a lot of messages and emails, etc., and appreciate all you guys who are getting in contact, the same kind of thing, getting good traction and then stopping, going backwards, getting good traction, stopping. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to stop going, we're going to go backwards at some point. The equity curve never goes like this. It's always going to be some backwards movement. But what we want is we want the wheels to move forward 5 rotations and then to move back 2, and then 5 and 2, rather than 5 and 6 and 6 and 7. We don't want that. So this kind of helps with that. Really 4 and 5 are the same kind of thing. Think about where you're trading your best and build on that. Rotate back to the setup, start to print those out, those rules, etc. When are you trading badly? We all trade badly from time to time, and one of the differentiators, guys, as you're going through your learning curve is to recognize when you are trading badly. Recognize you're not good at everything. There's loads of things that I'm awful at and I just avoid them. But it took me time to recognize that, hey, this is not serving you, and you either go to fix it or you just don't trade in that environment or don't trade that specific setup or whatever. And once you've identified that, you can just avoid it. You're like, okay, there's my kryptonite. It is what it is. I can still do very, very well whilst avoiding that. I don't have to be a jack of all trades here, and then you focus on that. So this is really dialing in on what you're best at, what you're not so good at, and then adjusting, maybe some tweaks, maybe changing the rules a little bit, maybe taking some setups out, adding some in, tweaking, playing around with it, and it's really then dialing into you as a person, as a trader, rather than what's supposed to happen and all this kind of stuff. So really think about that, because that will really pay dividends, guys. That's one of the things that I know will move the needle. Okay, number 6, think about how you can leverage on tech more. So what I mean by this is maybe this is a time, and I'd say it's at the bottom of the list. These are much more important, but if you've done all that and you've got some time left, think, okay, how can I leverage on tech more? So can I have some kind of screener that brings the ideas to me if I'm trading multiple markets? Can I be a little bit better with my time rather than sitting in front of the screen? Can I have a better system to set up alerts for price levels I want to get interested in? Can I maybe consider building some kind of algorithm or some kind of customized indicator or tool to help me with my decisions, or help me find trades, or help me get into certain setups? There's so many avenues to go down, and this is probably a whole topic in itself, but it's just thinking, how can I leverage on things a bit more? Are there any apps on my phone I can use for journaling a little bit better? Can I categorize my setup? There's loads of apps that are for project management and communication and stuff out there, guys, that are actually useful for your setups, for understanding your trades, for journaling. How can you use those more? How can you be more productive, and how can you have more clarity with the way you're trading? So it's a good time to think about that as well. So those are just 6 things. There's obviously loads more out there, but I think these are the best ones, guys. Especially this number 4 and number 5, and I kind of bang the drum about this, and know those of you around a while know that I do bang the drum about this, but honestly it does move the needle a lot. If you can just get rid of those just a little portion of those bad trades, it changes the game completely. And then you add at the other end a few more really good trades, the average P&L then just moves dramatically, and it's amazing those little tweaks can make, rather than trying to do everything at once. Like, right, focus on eliminating those really bad trades, just get that done. Focus on making just a few more really good trades, and the difference is huge. So guys, if you've got some time on your hands, if you're trading during lockdown, or any other time, it doesn't have to be lockdown, guys, you could be watching this in the future, we're out of all this stuff, and you're thinking, okay, I'm committing, I've got some time to it, what should I be working on first? The default is to trade. And I get it, we want to trade, we're here to trade, that's why we're traders, right? But taking some time to do this stuff is well worth it. Take care, guys, get your risk managed. See you next one. Bye-bye.